Morning, my dear students. In this video, I would like to discuss the topic classification of consonants. There are 44 sounds in English. They are mainly divided into two, vowels and consonants. There are 20 vowels and 24 consonants in English. The sounds during the production of which the air escapes through the mouth freely and continuously without any friction are called vowel sounds. As I mentioned, there are 20 vowels in English. They are divided into monophthongs and diphthongs. There are 12 monophthongs and 8 diphthongs in English. Now, take a look at the consonants. The sounds during the production of which the air does not pass through the mouth freely and continuously through the mouth are called consonants, or the sounds during the production of which the air escapes through the mouth with audible friction are called consonants. There are 24 consonant sounds in English. We can classify consonant sounds based on 6 categories. They are the airstream mechanism, the state of the glottis, the position of the soft palate, the active articulator, the passive articulator, and the structure involved. Now, first of all, take a look at the airstream mechanism. In English, we use the pulmonic aggressive airstream mechanism for the production of 44 speech sounds. What do you mean by pulmonic? The word pulmonic refers to something related with lungs. For the production of speech sounds in English, we use the air that goes out from the lungs. We need to have an airstream for the production of speech sound. What do you mean by airstream? Airstream means a moving current of air. The way a airstream works is called an airstream mechanism. So while articulating the speech sounds in English, as I mentioned, we use the air that goes out from the lungs. We use the air that we breathe out. An airstream that goes out is called aggressive. So we need to understand that the airstream mechanism that we use for the production of speech sound is called pulmonic aggressive airstream mechanism. Look at the second category, that is state of the glottis. The glottis is the space between two vocal cords. Vocal cords are a lip-like structure inside the larynx. We can divide sounds mainly into two based on the position of vocal cords during the articulation of speech sounds. During the production of certain sounds, the vocal cords are wide apart and the glottis is open. Such sounds are called voiceless sounds. During the production of certain speech sounds, the vocal cords are brought together and they are held loosely and they vibrate. So such sounds are called voiced sounds. So my dear students, we can divide consonant sounds into two based on the state of the glottis. Number 1, the voiceless sounds, and number 2, the voiced sounds. Voiceless sounds, what do you mean by voiceless sounds? The sounds during the production of which the vocal cords are wide apart and the glottis is open. Such sounds are called voiceless sounds. And what do you mean by voiced sounds? Sounds during the articulation of which the vocal cords are brought together and they vibrate. Such sounds are called voiced sounds. Based on the position of the soft palate, we can divide consonants into 3. They are oral sounds, nasal sounds, and nasalized sounds. Take a look at what we mean by oral sounds. The sounds during the production of which the soft palate is raised and the air goes through the mouth are called oral sounds. Now, what do you mean by nasal sounds? The sounds during the production of which the soft palate is lowered and the air goes through the nose are called nasal sounds. We have 3 nasal sounds in English. They are m, n, and ng. Other sounds are oral sounds. Now we have nasalized sounds. The sounds during the production of which the air goes out through the simultaneously through the mouth and the nose are called nasalized sounds. There are no nasalized sounds in English. So based on the position of the soft palate, as I mentioned, we can divide sounds, consonant sounds into three. They are oral sound, nasal sound and the nasalized sound. We need to understand the position of the soft palate during the articulation of these speech sounds. When we articulate oral sound, the soft palate is raised and the air passage to the nostril is blocked. Whereas during the production of nasal sound, we find that the soft palate is lowered and the air goes through nose. There is no nasalized sound in English. Based on the active and passive articulators, we can also classify consonant sounds. Now, first of all, let me tell you what we mean by active and passive articulators. For the production of any speech sounds, we need two organs. One organ moves towards the other. The organ that moves during the production of speech sound is called an active articulator. And the organ that does not move during the production of a speech sound is called a passive articulator. Lower lip and the different parts of the tongue are the active articulators, and upper lip and the parts of roof of the mouth are called passive articulators. Based on the active and passive articulators involved in the production of speech sounds, we can classify consonants into different categories. Now take a look at the different classification of sounds based on the active and passive articulators. Number one, bilabial. During the production of certain speech sounds, the lower lip is the active articulator and the upper lip is the passive articulator. Sounds produced in such a way are called bilabial consonants. Bilabial consonants in English are p, b and m. P as in spoon, b as in bat, m as in meat. So these are the three bilabial consonants in English. I repeat, consonants during the production of which the lower lip is the active articulator and the upper lip is the passive articulator are called bilabial consonants. P, b and m are the bilabial consonants in English. Number two, the labiodental. The active articulator is the lower lip and the passive articulators are the upper front teeth. The consonants are f and v. I repeat, labiodental consonants. The active articulator is the lower lip and the passive articulators are upper front teeth. Consonants that are classified as labiodental are f and v. Dental consonants. Active articulator is the blade of the tongue and the passive articulators are the upper front teeth. The consonants are th and th. Th and th. For alveolar consonants, here the active articulator is the blade or the tip of the tongue and the passive articulator is the teeth ridge or the alveolar ridge. There are 6 alveolar consonants in English. They are t, d, n, l, s, z. These are the alveolar consonants in English. Alveolar or palato-alveolar consonants. Here the active articulators are the blade and the front of the tongue and the passive articulators are the teeth ridge and hard palate. The post-alveolar or palato-alveolar consonants in English are ch, j, sh and zh. I repeat, ch, j, sh and zh. These are the post-alveolar or palato-alveolar consonants in English. Is palatal consonants. Here the active articulator is the front of the tongue and the passive articulator is the hard palate. There is only one palatal consonants in English, that is y, as in yes. Is velar consonants. Here the active articulator is the back of the tongue and the passive articulator is the soft palate. The velar consonants in English are ng, k, g and v. Is uvular consonants. Here the back of the tongue is the active articulator and the uvula is the passive articulator, but there is no uvular consonants in English. Is glottal consonants. Here the two vocal cords are the active and passive articulators. We have only one glottal consonants in English, that is h, as in hut.